Hey there everybody, this is Adam from Robot King Studios. Now, I'm sitting down actually reviewing my Necron Codex because I think I am going to be going with a reboot of my old Necron force, but something perhaps a little heavier this time. I relied mostly on Necron warriors beforehand, and though an infantry-heavy force is quite nice, I didn't really take advantage of some of the other special fun options. So I think I might. I've just been looking at things, fun stuff, war gear, things like that. Stuff I can use to make my HQ choice and elites a little bit better. And I've been considering including immortals this time, as well as the heavy destroyers. So that's kind of what I'm up to, or at least one thing what I'm up to. Also, for any of those of you who've been paying attention, I did talk beforehand about the gaming club, ever so tiny amount of talk about it, and I've been talking with Marnius Augusta Calgar and Cranberry Muffin Mans. Wow, I cannot speak half the time. And I've been discussing with them potentially joining Bloodangels.info's chapter clubs. So I didn't want to say that beforehand because I felt it would be impolite and also an overstepping of my boundaries to mention something which was a thinking process more than a doing process at that point in time. So just so you know. I just wanted to turn on the camera as I was doing things, and, you know, consider possibilities, thinking, happiness. I'm sitting here looking at the pages of my codex while I'm doing this. You know, there's nothing wrong with that, though. So, I mean, I have to consider what I'm going to be putting in my Necron force. I will be having to get some new models, as unfortunately most of my old Necron models are gone. I did actually give them to a friend of mine to use, so I hate to take back that which I have given. So it means I get to get new models and put them together and paint them up all pretty. And I think I'm actually going to go ahead and get the other colored rods that are available. I think I'm going to end up picking up the red translucent rods because I want to make the color scheme a little more intimidating. So I'm probably going to go with non-metallic colors for their bodies. Probably I may end up using an Adeptus Gray undercoat for them, but then most likely I'm going to go with a bone-themed color. A bone-themed color choice with probably stony accents, stone-colored accents for some of their bits, and then red translucent rods as opposed to the greenish yellow ones that are the standard. So there's just ideas I'm throwing around, and I considered using pariahs, but at the same time I don't want... Pariahs are nice. I do like pariahs. I kind of, you know, don't want to use them because I would like to have more points available for trying out immortals, as well as heavy destroyers. And maybe a nice monolith, because you never can go wrong with a monolith. But I think actually, now I know this will sound strange, but maybe it won't. I think I may actually end up going with 2 monoliths, so I can have each one fielded in a different area. I've actually seen people who will field multiple monoliths. It's really nice. It depends on how big I want to make my force. I'm probably going to shoot for just a 2,000 point force for now. That way I can get everything relatively quickly, assemble everything relatively quickly, and paint it all relatively quickly. I just have to wait on shipping times for my special rods and whatnot, because I'll have to order them. But I know the heavy destroyers are a bit expensive, but I kind of think they will be worth the cost. And even if they aren't, you never really can go wrong with trying something. I mean, if I try it, it doesn't work for me, I can attempt to rework the force to see what would work better for me. I haven't played the Necrons in a long time, but it was my roots, my 40k roots. I looked at everything, and I like the idea of non-living troops. I've always loved the idea of fielding non-living armies. That's why I like the undead in fantasy. That's why I like these mechanical monstrosities, these soul-imbibed metal beings in 40k. So, you know, that's... I don't know, I'm losing track of everything in my brain. But, you know, a man has to think about what a player has to think, because we're not all men, actually. There's a lot of players out there that I've met that are women, and they're actually quite nice ladies. But a guy's gotta think how to best utilize his army of choice. So I'm going to do some experimentation with things that I haven't actually tried out before. I've seen people who use them. I've seen battles involving some of the choices that I'm going to be using, but I haven't tried them out myself. I have tried out the flayed ones before, but I kind of think it will be a loss of points. Just like I tried out pariahs before, but I kind of want to go in a different direction. I want to go more shooty, and yeah, and heavy destroyers might be nice for me to use for hunting. I mean, various types of hunting that can come up in a game. So, hoobly. Now I did field beforehand. I think it was... I actually had 50 warriors. And I'll change that probably this time around. Maybe I won't. Maybe I will. I don't know. So, this is Adam from Robot King Studios, just kind of making a video to let you know what's going on. I'm going to sit back down and continue to enjoy my Necron Codex, because I actually haven't read this fluff in a while. There's not a lot in here, but I like reading the little story bits in between everything. And, you know, I have to plan out my new, beautiful Necron force. So this is Adam from Robot King Studios saying you have a wonderful day, and I'm gonna get back to work.